Hey everyone, Odds here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are up against CMully. CMully is a 2000 plus rated MMR opponent who is cooking some crazy strategies this game. It's going to take everything we can to try to defend against them and their insane hacker plays. Yes, hackers. The unit that I despise more than any other unit in the game. They're just an incredibly frustrating unit for me to deal with. I can't handle them. So today we're learning, how do we deal with hackers? What are we gonna do? Like, how do you actually stop them? What is their weakness? Can we find a way to survive the relentless attack from CMully, who this game goes absolutely nuts with all kinds of abilities? It's a real treat. I hope you guys enjoy. So let's jump into it. I've gone for the amp spec, and our opponent has taken supply spec. We are amp with the Void Eyes. A pretty solid, starting composition, right? We have our AoE, we have our single target damage, and then we have a bit of chaff here. We purchased some crawlers. We're going to be deploying on the right side, away from the defended left side, because most likely what we want to do is either get into a headbutt or some kind of clash. Maybe we're both going to be defensive. I'm not sure. Being that there are Mustangs, I was actually expecting them to be, farther back, maybe more of a standard play. But with the Hounds and the Mustangs, yeah, we're seeing them all up close. So we do get this headbutt. And realistically, having the Tarantulas in this situation, having both of them shoot, is exactly the situation we want to be. They're going to be able to clear these Mustangs very, very easily. So we have no problem with round one. And I'm like, all right, yeah, we're off to a great start. What can we do? What can we do with this? And what are we going to expect here? I should have been a bit wiser coming into round two, but I will learn for next time. So cards are offered. Molly goes for a skip, and we're deciding here, do we want that improved Wraith? We are kind of in a headbutt, but we do have the Tarantulas, and they're far enough back that, like, we maybe, like, it's not a full on the line headbutt. We have some breathing room, so maybe it's not worth it. It's quite expensive, and I won't be able to buy them this turn unless I were to sell out of the Tarantula. So we go for intensive instead, with the thought being, if we can get levels on our Tarantula, we're going to be in a great place. It counters everything on this board, minus the Void Eyes. But if you have a level advantage, then it is strong as Void Eyes still. Level and tech advantage. You don't want to have charge shot on the Void Eye or go up against it. So what I'm worried about, though, is maybe having no air defense this turn, and maybe seeing something like Phoenix or that improved Wraith. So we actually put a Mustang down in the back here, and then we defend our left side in case we have some flank over here. The thought was, we completely wiped them last turn, and so we need to expect the unexpected. We could be seeing air cheese, we could be seeing side flanks, something like that. So that's why we kind of defended our back here. But to our surprise, immediately hackers thrown down. And I mean, looking at the board, it kind of makes sense looking at it. Like, there were two little pockets here for units, and we had Mustangs. And Mustang Hacker is a viable composition. The shields are really strong in helping protect the Mustangs from, AoE or fire or whatnot. And the Mustangs will do decent damage, staying alive there. Hackers will be able to convert any of the larger units like the Tarantula or whatnot. So very strong against those units, Tarantula or Arclight or whatnot. It's quite good against almost all the chaff clear units, basically, other than the Wraith. And we didn't pick the improved Wraith, unfortunately. Maybe it would have been pretty good for us here. So more cards are offered. We go for the Fire Incendiary Bomb. We want to put it just a little bit on our side. Like if you notice, there's only a few spaces onto our side. And the reason being that if there were shields up on the line, the fire would still go off because majority of it is not being stopped by shield. So this is like pretty ideal placement. CMully does go for shields and hackers, expecting us to take this fire. But I think our positioning here is going to work out for us. What else? We get a level on this Mustang. I wanted to get our Mustangs higher level than the opponent's Mustangs. So intensive is important here. We're going to use it intensive on the Mustang. And yeah, because Mustangs are quite good at dealing with the small units that get converted by the hacker. They kill them fast enough that units with a slower rate of fire will not spend time shooting at that useless chaff unit. So fire does go off. We're able to clear a lot of this stuff, but our tarantulas do get taken over. Void Eyes do kind of deal with that though. And actually, with that tower, it looks like we're able to destroy those hackers and actually get a round victory there. So nice comeback. Units offered. Okay. So, oh wow, he didn't think very long at that. Just said, you know what, we need the Vulcan. I'm thinking in this case, like Raiden is probably not, because even though it can do well against these things, we're primarily going to be seeing a Mustang hacker. And it doesn't do very well against shields. It doesn't do very well against Mustangs. So we don't go for that, but we do end up going. And also we don't take the Wasp because of the, the same reason. The Mustangs are going to clear them. So we go for the fort. And the reason why we go for the fort is actually mostly there's a couple of reasons. One is it has a lot of HP. So if a hacker gets locked onto it, it's going to take a long time for it to take it over. Secondly, shields. Hackers are awful at shields. If you don't know, the hacker does deal damage, and that's part of the process of stealing a unit. And when it's stealing a unit, it's full damage. But when it's dealing damage to a shield, I believe it's like a quarter damage or something like that. It's very, very inefficient. So shields are very strong. So I quickly turned on barrier to make sure the measurements were okay here. And then I turned it off, and I just, because it's too expensive this round, this is just a regular shield. Because we want to prevent stuff from being locked on right away by these hackers. And we do level up that fort with the training spec, but we don't have the money to actually upgrade it. And yeah, shields are working out quite well, but there is still a lot of stuff. We do see this Vulcan now is placed over here to defend the flank, so it's going to take a lot more effort to get through that. And oof, the level 2 hacker converts that tarantula very quickly. Does take a bit longer for that fort, but does get it. And we're going to end up losing this round quite heavily here. Decent amount of damage done. But we've got a lot of level ups here. We've got, Vulcan Descent is a possibility. Advanced, Mully, goes for the the descent there. We go for the nano repair. I think it's pretty good against hacker because let's say we lost some health. It's going to help bring our health back up so that hopefully it'll not get hacked so easily. Although it's very, very bad if it does get hacked because we really don't have anything to deal with this. This is a really good play here from CMully, dropping this Vulcan on the side. We end up selling out of our crawlers here because they're hard countered by that Vulcan. And this one is going to pull a bunch of stuff. And right next to these Mustangs is just going to deal with the Mustang. So very easy. We're sort of turning our comp into a Fort Mustang comp. We, like I was saying earlier, we want to make sure that we have higher levels on our stuff, on our Mustangs, so that we can deal with the opponent's Mustangs We've got range now. We still can't afford the shield. So we're just going to get a bit more chaff here, put it at the back. And I wasn't actually expecting this at all whatsoever. I guess I should have, because it ends up pulling like everything. All of our Mustangs, and deals with them no problem. And we're having a hard time. We didn't have any shields this turn, and it's really bad for us. We're gonna lose everything. There's so much damage on the board. Ooh. Fortress gets taken over and just one-shots our tarantula now. Oh no. That's almost 2,000 damage. It's like 1,900 damage or so on the board from that turn. But we got some more options here. Phantom Ray. Phantom Ray with armor is quite strong at absorbing these shots from the Mustang. So it's going to prevent a lot of damage. And tie up those units so that hopefully our chaff is going to survive longer. And the hackers are going to be locked onto that chaff. CMully actually puts a Vulcan down in this flank, which is absolutely crazy. Like, how often do you see this? Almost never. But it's going to work out really well because the Vulcan last turn did really well. So again, I'm not expecting something like this. And what I really need is, you know, some heavy-duty unit here to help deal with any large units that get thrown down, like this Vulcan. But we're low on money. We had to get the armor on this, 250. We had the level 2 Phantom Rays. We had to sell out of one of our Void Eyes. We got a small amp back. And we throw that on our Mustang here, trying to get a little bit more damage. But the opponent is outscaling us with the Mustangs. But this turn we are able to get barrier. So that's going to help us so that we don't have to keep purchasing barriers or purchasing bubbles. Every turn we're going to get it back for free. So the more turns this goes on for, the more value we're going to be getting from this. Plus it has even more value being that the shield HP increases by 40,000 per unit rank. So this is now an 80,000 HP shield. And that's why we're leveling up this fort as well. We want to get those shields higher and higher. So somehow we do kill that Vulcan. Kind of amazing, actually, I guess because it was warping in. And you can see our Phantom Rays here are soaking up so much damage from these Mustangs. Fortress does get locked on now. Oh no, we get one of those hackers, but it's not enough. It turns and starts dealing with our own units. However, somehow we are damaging it. Something's hurting it. Now this fort turns around. It looks like our Phantom Rays were able to turn around and help deal with that. So that's how we had enough damage. And actually, it looks like this is going to work out for us. The Phantom Ray armor playing a huge role there in keeping our stuff alive and keeping the opponent's Mustangs locked onto them, preventing them from clearing our chaff. You notice at the end of the round there, we still had a bunch of fangs left over. Okay, Ion. Ion. Yeah. Round 7 Ion is super good. We also have Incendiary back. So we can kind of, yeah, we can double up the abilities here. And with less than 2,000 life, there is a possibility with these giants that we could have enough damage in order to seal the deal. We do have to buy a fortress and bring it all the way back here in order to protect ourselves. But CMully does sell out of that Vulcan, so well played there. We are contemplating firing here. This is a great use of oil. Trying to put oil down the middle here so that it's going to connect with the fire and be able to help deal with our chaff. Knowing that here is like a bit of a gap in between our bubbles. Very obvious when we've already chosen these barriers. But we're going to move this, actually. We're going to put the fire a little bit back. I don't think my opponent is going to bubble back here to protect these units. So we end up throwing it down to the back of the crawler. The 2 packs of crawlers and the Mustang should go through it. And we reposition our Ion to be on the left. We get that pack of Rays right away. All the chaff dies in the background. And we're able to push through here. Our stuff is not really dying. The ion can't do enough damage to level 2 fort. And these Raidens, I don't know. Pretty crazy choice here. I don't think that's what opponent needed. We have, I mean, I guess they wanted to deal with those Phantom Rays, right? They were causing problems with all that armor. So our Phantom Rays are dead, but now these Raidens are completely useless. They don't do enough damage to the fortress, and they do not deal with the Mustang. Our Mustang counter them quite easily. So we're going to end up taking this round. And it is not quite enough damage. We're going to have to find more damage. And here we go. Here we go. A couple good cards here. We've got the nuke. And so we grab that. There was also a production card, which is really good. Draw on this fort here, or this fort all the way in the back. Would be pretty good. It helps having more stuff that's, you know, occupying hackers and whatnot. But we go for the nuke. I feel like we were killing shields relatively quickly. We just need to, yeah, if we can kill this blob, it's kind of blobbing, right? We can get both of these Raidens in our nuke. I was kind of maybe expecting a mobile beacon to dodge it. Maybe grabbing these units and going over here. So I'm gonna defend this side a little bit. I think we do get a level 3 fortress. That's gonna give us a whole lot more shield, and these shields are gonna help. If our opponent goes for the nuke, we can hopefully outlast it with our shields. And we're actually gonna oil back here. We're gonna slow these units down. They worked really effectively last time, turning them on or lighting them on fire. So we're gonna use it just to slow things down so that we can get locked onto the more important units. Also, you know, slower stuff, maybe it'll, I don't know, get dragged into the nuke or something. So we do put a fortress here on the left, and we put a fang and whatnot. We're building up on the left side a little bit because if we get blasted here, I want to have stuff on the left. So that's a kind of a good play. And the opponent is doing something here too, making a move on the left here with this mobile beacon, the balls, and the missile interceptor. Trying to diversify. So if they get nuked here, hopefully they'll be able to clear this tower, but no, it gets shut down by that missile defending our tower and the fortress, and a huge nuke goes off, destroys all of those Raidens and all of those units there. And with that, oh my god, we've just got so many forts here. We still got shields available. All those hackers go down, and there is just no way that the lone Raiden is going to be able to deal with this fortress. Level 3 fortress with nano repair. It is not going to die, and we have lots and lots left over to deal with that. So we successfully managed to hold. Crazy strategy thrown at us, but we managed to find a way through it. These fortresses with the barrier, incredibly strong, right? And the Phantom Ray drop also doing really well to help save us here with that armor. We do get level 3 Phantom Ray. It's supposed to, it should help us survive a bit more against the Raidens and whatnot. And occupy the Mustangs. When the Mustangs get too high level, they also will kind of shed through the armor anyway, so it's important to keep upgrading them because, don't forget, the text here says, the damage blocking effect increases with the rank, and for each rank blocks an additional 60 damage. So at level 3, 6, 12, 18, it blocks 180 damage. And you can see the Mustang here does 146, so it's still keeping it at 1 damage. The minimum that it will do against an armored unit. So all of these Mustangs are completely shut down. Yeah, so that was a fun game. Very stressful. Lots of cool plays here with like the Vulcans on the side and, you know, attempting to use the steel balls, trying to get the tower and stuff like that. But we managed to hold on. We managed to survive. And yeah, fort for the win. Good game. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Maybe learned something. Let me know down in the comments below what you thought about the video. And yeah, also feel free to join our Discord for other like-minded people that like to play and learn Mechabellum. We do a lot of stuff for learning the game and also having fun with it too. Lots of cool challenges and things like that. So I look forward to seeing you again. Until next time, see you later.